Have you ever paused in the chaos of your daily life and wondered if the thoughts running through your mind are truly yours? Do you ever feel like you're a puppet dancing to the tune of societal expectations, past experiences, and self-imposed limitations? Many of us go about our days with our heads down, trudging through the mundane, unaware that our minds are often filled with junk thoughts that weigh us down like trash, left to pile up in the corners of our consciousness. But what if I told you that there's a way to let go of this mental clutter and embrace a new kind of awareness, one that allows the universe to guide you? You just need to stop brainwashing yourself with trash and let the universe brainwash you. The power of thought. The saying, "You are what you think," sounds simple, yet its truth runs deep. Every day, our minds are bombarded with information, some useful, much of it unnecessary, and a significant portion downright toxic. From the media's relentless cycle of negativity to the internal voice of self-doubt that whispers in our ears, we find ourselves trapped in a loop of mental noise. It's as if we've become our own worst enemies, actively participating in our brainwashing. Imagine walking into a room filled with trash. The stench is overwhelming, and the sight of the clutter makes you feel uneasy. Now picture what would happen if you decided to clear it out. Suddenly, the air feels fresher, the light floods in, and possibilities open up before you. This is what happens when we begin to cleanse our minds of the negative thoughts and beliefs we've accumulated over the years. So how do we begin this process of mental detox? It starts with awareness. Awareness is like a flashlight illuminating the dark corners of our minds. It allows us to recognize the trash we've been holding on to. Are your thoughts filled with self-criticism, fear, or anxiety? Do you find yourself replaying past failures or worrying about future outcomes? If so, you are not alone. Many of us have been conditioned to focus on the negative, to seek validation through external sources, and to believe we are unworthy of greatness. In the words of philosopher Lao Tzu, knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. To know ourselves is to embark on a journey of self-discovery. It requires courage to confront the stories we tell ourselves. These stories can be powerful, often shaping our identities, but many of these narratives are based on illusions, experiences that no longer serve us. Just as parables teach valuable lessons through simple stories, we must learn to discern which thoughts contribute to our growth and which simply serve as mental clutter. As we begin to peel back the layers of our beliefs, we may discover that some of our deepest fears stem from childhood experiences or societal conditioning. For example, many of us were raised to believe that success equals money, status, or approval from others. This belief can lead to a never-ending chase for external validation, leaving us feeling empty and unfulfilled. The problem is that when we are focused solely on these external markers of success, we often ignore our inner voice, the one that tells us what truly brings us joy and fulfillment. By questioning our beliefs, we can shift our mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. We can begin to see the world as a place filled with possibilities rather than limitations. Think about it. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, you'll likely attract situations that reinforce that belief. Conversely, when you choose to believe in your inherent worthiness, you open yourself up to opportunities and connections that align with that truth. The universe responds to our energy and intentions, reflecting back what we put out into the world. Clearing the mind's clutter. In this process of letting go, we can draw inspiration from the concept of surrender. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up. Rather, it's about releasing the need to control every aspect of our lives. It's about trusting that the universe has a plan for us, even if we can't see it. In the Bible, we find the story of Job, a man who endured immense suffering yet maintained his faith in the divine. Job's unwavering trust in something greater than himself serves as a powerful reminder that even in our darkest moments, we can find strength by surrendering to the flow of life. The act of letting go is not just about releasing thoughts or emotions. It's about creating space for something new to enter our lives. In many ways, it resembles the process of decluttering your home. Imagine a room filled with unnecessary items, old furniture, clothes you no longer wear, and trinkets that serve no purpose. Now picture the relief that comes from clearing it all away. Your space becomes brighter, more welcoming, and open to new possibilities. This metaphor extends to our minds. Just as we can fill our physical spaces with clutter, we can also allow our minds to become overcrowded with unhelpful thoughts and beliefs. These mental blockages can stifle our creativity, hinder our growth, and keep us anchored in a past that no longer serves us. The act of decluttering our thoughts can be a transformative experience, allowing the light of our true selves to shine through. To start this process, we must first identify the sources of our mental clutter. Many times, these sources are deeply ingrained in our daily lives. Social media, for example, has become a double-edged sword. It can connect us with loved ones and expose us to new ideas. Yet it can also breed comparison, anxiety, and negativity. The carefully curated lives we see online can lead us to believe that we should measure our worth against the highlight reels of others. This kind of thinking can become a toxic cycle, trapping us in a loop of dissatisfaction and self-doubt. Let's take a cue from the ancient wisdom of the Stoics. They taught us that we cannot control the external world, but we can control our responses to it. By recognizing the triggers in our lives that lead to negative thinking, we can choose how to respond. For instance, if scrolling through social media leaves you feeling drained, it might be time to take a break or set boundaries around your usage. Instead of mindlessly consuming content, consider engaging in activities that uplift you. Whether it's reading a book, going for a walk, or connecting with friends who inspire you. As we move through this process of awareness and change, it's also important to embrace the power of journaling. Writing down our thoughts can be a cathartic way to release pent-up emotions and gain clarity. It acts as a mirror, reflecting back the patterns we may not have consciously recognized. Consider dedicating a few minutes each day to write freely about your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. This practice can help you identify the recurring themes that keep popping up in your mind. In doing so, you might discover limiting beliefs that have taken root over time. These beliefs can feel like chains binding you to a version of yourself that is less than what you aspire to be. Think about it. How often do we hear ourselves saying things like, "I can't," "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed"? These phrases are powerful brainwashing tools, and they can become self-fulfilling prophecies. The more we repeat them, the more they shape our reality. This brings us to a crucial aspect of our journey, replacing negative thoughts with empowering ones. It's not enough to simply recognize what no longer serves us. We must actively choose to cultivate a mindset rooted in positivity and possibility. One effective way to do this is by adopting the practice of gratitude. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, opening our eyes to the abundance that surrounds us. In the words of author Melody Beattie, gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. By consciously acknowledging the blessings in our lives, no matter how small, we begin to rewire our brains. Instead of dwelling on missed opportunities or past failures, we cultivate a perspective that celebrates growth and progress. As you begin to embrace gratitude, consider keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, take a moment to write down 3 things you are thankful for. They can be as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or the beauty of nature. This practice not only fosters a positive mindset, but also reminds us of the richness of life, even in the midst of challenges. Let's not forget the importance of self-compassion on this journey. It's easy to be our own harshest critics, berating ourselves for mistakes or perceived shortcomings. However, as we learn to let go of mental clutter, we must also learn to treat ourselves with kindness. The Buddhist philosophy teaches us about the concept of metta, or loving kindness. This practice encourages us to extend compassion toward ourselves and others. When we embrace self-compassion, we create a nurturing environment that allows us to learn and grow without fear of judgment. Picture a small child learning to walk. When they stumble and fall, we don't chastise them. Instead, we offer encouragement and support. In the same way, we must learn to treat ourselves with that same gentle understanding. When you catch yourself in a cycle of self-criticism, pause and ask yourself, would I say this to a friend? If the answer is no, it's time to change the narrative. Another powerful tool in this process is visualization. Imagine the life you desire, filled with joy, purpose, and fulfillment. Visualization is like planting seeds in the garden of your mind, nurturing them until they bloom. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing your goals and dreams as if they have already come to fruition. Feel the emotions associated with achieving those dreams, the excitement, the gratitude, the sense of accomplishment. When we visualize, we align our energy with our desires, signaling to the universe that we are ready to receive. It's essential to understand that this journey is not a straight path. There will be ups and downs along the way. Embracing the ebb and flow of life is part of the process. Philosopher Rainer Maria Rilke reminds us that the only journey is the one within. By facing our inner challenges and embracing our emotions, we foster resilience and strength. Every step you take toward decluttering your mind is a step toward freedom. Freedom from the shackles of limiting beliefs, freedom to embrace your true self, and freedom to let the universe guide you. The process may be challenging at times, but it's also liberating and rewarding. Embracing the flow of life. As we journey further into this exploration of self-discovery and transformation, it's time to address a crucial aspect of our spiritual growth, surrendering to the flow of life. In our quest for clarity and purpose, we often find ourselves gripping tightly to our plans, expectations, and the outcomes we desire. We believe that if we can just control our environment and manipulate circumstances, we can create the life we want. However, what if we were to release this tight hold and instead learn to ride the waves of life with grace and ease? Surrendering to the flow does not mean giving up on our dreams or ambitions. Rather, it involves trusting that life has its own rhythm and that sometimes the best course of action is to let go and allow the universe to guide us. This concept is beautifully illustrated in the ancient philosophy of Taoism, which teaches that by aligning ourselves with the natural flow of the universe, we can move forward with less resistance and more fulfillment. Imagine a river flowing effortlessly toward the ocean. The water bends around rocks, meanders through valleys, and finds its way without force or struggle. This imagery serves as a powerful reminder that we too can navigate our lives with such fluidity. When we learn to let go, we open ourselves to new possibilities and experiences we may never have imagined. To begin this process, we must first cultivate awareness of our resistance. Think about a time when you clung to a particular outcome. Maybe it was a job, a relationship, or a personal goal. Often, this attachment leads to frustration, anxiety, and disappointment when things don't unfold as we expect. The teachings of Eckhart Tolle, a renowned spiritual teacher, remind us that the primary source of suffering is our attachment to our thoughts and desires. He encourages us to become present, to observe our thoughts without judgment, and to recognize when we are resisting the natural flow of life. As we practice this awareness, we can start to identify the areas where we are holding on too tightly. Are there situations in your life where you feel an overwhelming need to control the outcome? It might be helpful to keep a journal and note these instances. By shining a light on our attachments, we can begin to understand how they affect our mental and emotional state. Once we recognize our resistance, we can take steps to cultivate a mindset of acceptance. Acceptance does not mean resignation. Rather, it is an active choice to embrace the present moment as it is. The Serenity Prayer is a beautiful illustration of this mindset. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. This wisdom lies at the heart of surrendering to the flow. Take a moment to reflect on the things in your life that you cannot control. Perhaps the actions of others, the timing of events, or the opinions of those around you. Accepting these realities frees us from the burden of unnecessary worry. Instead of constantly trying to push against the current, we can begin to swim with it, trusting that we are supported by something greater than ourselves. In embracing acceptance, we also cultivate patience. Often, we want things to happen on our timeline, but life has its own pace. The natural world operates in cycles. Seasons change, flowers bloom, and seeds grow. By aligning ourselves with these cycles, we learn that growth and transformation often take time. The story of the bamboo tree serves as a poignant reminder of this truth. When planted, it remains underground for years, seemingly dormant. However, after several years of nurturing, it suddenly shoots up to great heights within a matter of weeks. This remarkable growth occurs because during its underground phase, it was developing a strong root system to support its future success. Our lives can mirror this process. Sometimes we may feel like we're not making progress, yet behind the scenes, we are laying the groundwork for our future. Embracing this perspective allows us to remain open and receptive rather than frustrated and impatient. Another essential aspect of surrendering to the flow of life is learning to embrace uncertainty. In our fast-paced world, we often crave stability and predictability. However, the reality is that uncertainty is an inherent part of life. The more we resist it, the more we create unnecessary stress and anxiety. The philosopher Alan Watts once said, "The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance." When we shift our mindset to view uncertainty as a dance, we invite creativity and spontaneity into our lives. Think about a time when something unexpected occurred. A job loss, a breakup, or a sudden change in plans. Initially, it may have felt overwhelming, but as time passed, you might have discovered new opportunities or insights that emerged from that experience. Embracing uncertainty can lead us to paths we never considered, opening doors to possibilities we could not have imagined. In practical terms, how can we cultivate this mindset of embracing uncertainty? One way is to be fully present in the moment, without judgment or attachment to outcomes. When we focus on the here and now, we can appreciate life as it unfolds rather than getting lost in worry about the future. As we surrender to the flow of life, we also create space for intuition to emerge. When we're not preoccupied with controlling every detail, we become more attuned to our inner guidance. Intuition is that quiet voice within us that knows what feels right. It often speaks through feelings, gut instincts, or flashes of insight. Learning to trust this inner wisdom can lead us toward choices that align with our true selves. In moments of doubt or confusion, take a step back and tune into your intuition. Ask yourself, what feels right in this situation? What resonates with my core values? Often, the answers will come when we allow ourselves to be still and listen. The experiences, both good and bad, contribute to your growth and understanding. Like the waves of the ocean, life will ebb and flow, but your ability to ride those waves with grace will determine your experience. The power of intention. While surrendering to the flow of life is about letting go and trusting the universe, setting intentions is about consciously directing our energy toward our desires and aspirations. These two elements work harmoniously, allowing us to navigate our journeys with both purpose and fluidity. The concept of intention is often misunderstood. Many people think of it as a mere wish or desire, something we hope will happen. However, intention is far more profound than that. It is a commitment to align our thoughts, feelings, and actions with the outcomes we wish to create. When we set an intention, we are not just making a passive wish. We are actively participating in the manifestation process. The ancient philosophy of Buddhism teaches us that intention is a vital aspect of our actions. The Buddha spoke about the importance of right intention, emphasizing that our thoughts and desires shape our reality. When we cultivate positive intentions, we naturally attract positive outcomes. This aligns with the principle of karma, which states that our actions and intentions create consequences. By consciously directing our energy, we can manifest a life that resonates with our highest self. So how can we effectively set intentions that align with our desires? The first step is to be clear and specific about what we want to achieve. Vague intentions often lead to vague outcomes. Instead of saying, "I want to be happy," consider framing it as, "I intend to create a daily practice that nurtures my joy and well-being." This clarity allows the universe to understand your desires and respond accordingly. Next, it's essential to connect emotionally with your intentions. Emotions are powerful catalysts for manifestation. When we feel deeply about our intentions, we infuse them with energy and passion. Take a moment to visualize your intention as if it has already come to fruition. How does it feel to achieve it? What emotions arise within you? By cultivating this emotional connection, we strengthen our commitment to the intention and signal to the universe that we are serious about our desires. Writing down our intentions can also amplify their power. This simple act helps solidify our commitment and serves as a reminder of our goals. Create a dedicated space in your journal to write down your intentions regularly. As you do so, express gratitude for their eventual manifestation. Gratitude is a powerful energy that not only attracts positive outcomes, but also shifts our focus from lack to abundance. Once we've set our intentions, the next step is to let go of the need to control how and when they will manifest. This is where surrendering to the flow comes into play. It's natural to feel a sense of urgency or anxiety about our intentions, but clinging too tightly can create resistance. Instead, practice the art of detachment, trusting that the universe will unfold your intentions in the perfect timing and manner. The teachings of the law of attraction further illuminate this principle. According to this law, we attract experiences that match our vibrational frequency. By focusing on our intentions with positivity and confidence, we elevate our vibration, drawing experiences that align with our desires. This process invites synchronicity and serendipity into our lives. You may find that doors open in ways you never anticipated, leading you down paths filled with opportunities. To enhance this process, engage in daily practices that foster a positive mindset, surrounding yourself with uplifting influences. The more we nourish our minds and spirits with positive energy, the more aligned we become with our intentions. As we embrace the power of intention, we must also remain open to the lessons that arise along the way. Living in harmony with the universe. A key aspect of letting the universe brainwash you is living in harmony with the universe. This harmony is not simply a passive state. It is an active conscious engagement with the world around us. When we learn to align our thoughts, intentions, and actions with the universe's flow, we create a life filled with purpose, fulfillment, and joy. The first step toward achieving this harmony is developing a deep awareness of the present moment. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the chaos of daily life, but mindfulness teaches us to pause, breathe, and reconnect with ourselves and our surroundings. This awareness opens us up to the subtle messages and signs from the universe, guiding us toward our true path. It reminds us that life is a series of moments, each one a precious gift filled with opportunities for growth and connection. In addition to this, Incorporating rituals into our daily lives can enhance our connection to the universe. Rituals provide structure and meaning, allowing us to set aside time for reflection, gratitude, and intention setting. These practices can be as simple or elaborate as we choose. For example, creating a morning ritual that includes expressing gratitude can set a positive tone for the day ahead. Rituals can also be tied to significant life events or transitions. Many cultures have customs that honor milestones, such as weddings, graduations, or new beginnings. Engaging in these rituals connects us to a larger narrative and reminds us that we are part of something greater than ourselves. As we participate in these traditions, we strengthen our bond with the universe and acknowledge the interconnectedness of all life. Consider how the Native American practice of the sweat lodge ceremony exemplifies this idea. This ancient ritual serves as a purification process where participants gather in a sacred space to reflect, pray, and connect with the spirit of the earth. The experience fosters a sense of community and a deeper understanding of the natural world, emphasizing our interconnectedness and the importance of living in harmony with it. Another essential element of living in harmony with the universe is embracing the concept of surrender. While we've discussed surrendering to the flow of life, it's equally important to understand that surrender does not mean passivity. It's about relinquishing our attachment to specific outcomes while remaining open to whatever unfolds. This practice requires trust. Trust in ourselves, trust in the universe, and trust that everything happens for a reason. When we practice surrender, we release the need to control every aspect of our lives. We stop clinging to rigid expectations and instead cultivate a sense of curiosity about what lies ahead. This mindset opens us to new possibilities and experiences we might have otherwise overlooked. We become more resilient in the face of challenges, viewing them as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to our plans. As we cultivate awareness, establish rituals, and practice surrender, we must also prioritize self-care and nurturing our inner selves. Living in harmony with the universe requires us to honor our needs and well-being. This means taking time to recharge, engage in activities that bring us joy, and surround ourselves with positive influences. Self-care is not a luxury. It is a necessity. Just as we cannot pour from an empty cup, we cannot fully engage with the universe if we are depleted. Whether through meditation, spending time in nature, or connecting with loved ones, prioritizing self-care allows us to maintain a balanced and harmonious life. Finally, as we embrace the principles of living in harmony with the universe, we must remember the power of community. Connecting with like-minded individuals who share our values and aspirations amplifies our journey. These relationships provide support, encouragement, and inspiration as we navigate our paths. Living in harmony with the universe is ongoing. It requires commitment, patience, and a willingness to learn. The universe is always speaking to us, guiding us toward our highest selves and inviting us to participate in the dance of life. When we open ourselves to the beauty and abundance the universe offers, we stop brainwashing ourselves with the limitations of our minds and allow the universe to guide us toward our truest potential. So as you step forward into your life, remember that the universe is a vast, ever-present force that supports your journey. Trust in its wisdom, align your intentions with its flow, and allow yourself to be brainwashed by the incredible possibilities that await you. The path to fulfillment is not a destination. It is a journey of awakening to the beauty of existence and your place within it. Embrace this journey, for it is the greatest adventure of all.